The Business on RTE Radio 1 with Friends First. Looking forward to the future of over 250,000 Irish customers.
Hello and welcome to The Business. Coming up, the former property developers going bankrupt and working as brickies in London. Building a nest egg, one Clare family whose business is soaring. And fighting fatigue, the entrepreneurs who've been networking all night. You can contact us by email at thebusiness@rte.ie, by phone to 1857 15150 or by text to 51551. But first to a woman whose frustrations with a problem within the education system forced her to come up with her own solution. Although only set up a year ago, this solution is fast becoming a business. Linda O'Sullivan is the Clare-based creator of Reading Bridges, an interactive computer programme that aims to help dyslexic children improve their reading skills. She joins us now from our Limerick studio. Linda, why did you develop it?
Well, my son Óisin was having some difficulties at school and had turned off reading, was getting to a stage where he was avoiding reading. He mightn't like me saying that. But we were bringing him to a specialist teacher in Limerick called Marie Stubbings in the Limerick Support Centre. And it had been working very well. What was putting us under pressure, I suppose, was the travel time and the extra pressure that Óisin was under and we were all under with the extra tutoring time after school, and the fact that then you're starting homework, dinner and everything else much later in the evening, and that was creating its own stress and pressure. And I had a conversation with Marie because my background was in developing content for children's television, in particular animation, and we discussed the possibility of how these exercises might work in an interactive animated game environment. So we started researching the idea further. I spoke with the British Dyslexia Association, some specialist teachers and other experts in the area, and realised very quickly that there definitely was a gap for a product of this nature. Now,
the man who inspired you, the young man who inspired you is with you right beside you there, Óisin. Hello, Óisin.
Hi.
And when did you hear that your mum was going to start a new business and that you were the inspiration?
Well, I was in my room and I was like drawing comics, listening to music and playing the guitar, and my mum came up and asked me could I draw some characters for her, like a girl pirate and a modern boy, and I was like, oh yeah, sure. And I was like, what? I was a bit, confused, so I did it for her, and I showed them to her and she loved it. And then in the following two days, she gave me a script that showed a boy named Jack, who's from the modern age of today, and a girl from the time of Irish pirates, really, and stuff like that, and was Grania Whale. And so I was like, cool, you're making a cartoon. I love this thing. It's absolutely savage. So then I saw her working on the computer, and I said, so is this cartoon coming out on TV? And she said, no, it's going on the computer. And I was like, why is it going on the computer? And she said, because it's for dyslexic kids. And I was like, oh, really? Because I did not realise it was like that at all.
So you were suddenly in the picture here now.
Yeah. And then I kind of knew it was because of me, because, well, I was kind of, dyslexic myself.
Wow. And so tell me then, what did you think? What did you feel as you saw this developing, this new interactive game that your mum was working on?
I thought it was awesome. It was really, really cool. And I thought the characters were amazing and everything, and I was so proud of my mum.
Did she try it out on you? Did she test it as she was going along?
Yeah, it was really cool. There's like closed procedures in it, and it's really adventurous, and it's really funny as well.
And now, in terms of your school, do you like school?
Yeah, sometimes.
Do you like it coming up to the weekends?
Yeah.
And what subjects would you like at school? Would you find relatively easy?
History, art, geography.
That's a good range, is it? And what do you find tough?
Maths, English, sometimes. Sometimes English can be hard, but
all those things.
A lot of other
Óisin
things.
has dyscalculia also, as well as dyslexia.
Now, what's dyscalculia for people who don't know what that is?
Dyscalculia is problems with numbers and maths. So
you get them all jumbled up?
Yeah, they kind of, move on the page.
Oh, yeah. And is that what happens with the words and with the letters as well?
Yeah, they go into circles and squares and everything, but that's why I like comic books, because they're already in circles. It's so much easier to read, and I love pictures a lot as well. So.
And have you been working with that problem, Óisin, or living with that problem for a long time now?
No, I only figured out when I was 10.
Oh, so, really?
Yeah.
And what was it like figuring it out? I presume you felt much better knowing what it was.
No, I actually felt worse.
Did you? Tell me why.
Because I felt as if I was stupid and I can't do anything anymore. This is impossible for me. How am I supposed to live in the world with a disability like this?
But that's not really true, because there are an awful lot of very, very famous people who've had dyslexia.
Yeah,
isn't
but
that right?
I'd never heard of dyslexia, and Mum and my dad told me what it was, so that's why I thought I was useless in the world, and why should I even be here?
I hope you don't feel useless anymore.
No,
you know
I don't.
Richard Branson was dyslexic.
Yeah, Mum showed me a load of things, and she showed me a load of famous people who were, and I was like very happy. And then Mum said, because I'm dyslexic, you probably are better at different things, but a lot of things that other people can't do.
Because Albert Einstein, he's a genius, he was dyslexic, so was Thomas Edison, so was Alexander Graham Bell, John Lennon, Leonardo da Vinci, Tom Cruise, loads of people were. Muhammad Ali was dyslexic.
Was he?
He was. Winston Churchill, Agatha Christie, loads and loads of people have been dyslexic. They just look at the world differently, and that gives them a different edge, a competitive edge.
Yeah, I look at the world differently myself. I kind of look at it as like a Rubik's Cube, like a bit of a puzzle that I'm the person who can sort it out.
That sounds very good. Linda, in terms of Óisin's shock at discovering he was dyslexic and the sense that he felt that he was stupid, which is completely untrue, how important was it to deal with that in terms of the game and the product which you have developed? I presume it doesn't treat the people who are using it as if there's anything at all like that.
Exactly. I think one of the biggest I suppose most damaging things sometimes can be the loss of self-esteem throughout the educational process for children who have this and don't know what's going on, or start to see themselves as stupid, or start to have that perception. And that is why, I suppose, on two levels, the idea is to change their motivation towards learning by making it fun and putting it in a visual environment, which usually dyslexic kids are very, very strong on. And then secondly, by putting the focus on building skills that will build confidence, that will build self-esteem. So it's really about turning things around and trying to make it a positive experience and focusing on the positive learning strengths.
So it drags the children and young people and whoever it is into using and developing the skills which the professionals, such as an academic, might say they should practice, but it does it in a very visual and interactive way.
Exactly, and it's using evidence-based methods that are because they're in a game environment, and because obviously kids will repeat games over and over to increase their score, to move on in the game. It allows for that over repetition that often can be very useful for children in the areas that they're having difficulty with.
Do you know what's interesting is that your background is in film and TV, and I presume there's a lot of cartoon activity in relation to this particular game which you've developed. Did you know that Walt Disney was dyslexic?
I did know that.
Did you know that?
Yes.
Did you know that, Óisin?
No.
Well, he was. There you are.
Walt Disney, jeepers.
Yes. What do you think you'd like to do when you grow up?
I'd like to be a musician, an actor, and a comic book creator.
And so that's very creative.
Yeah. Well, I suppose my biggest goal is to be someone like Bono, like a like a rock star. She loves it. She loves the idea. It's brilliant.
Well, Óisin is very good at the guitar, and he's very good at writing songs, and he goes through periods of being fascinated by different
Types of music.
different types of music and different musicians. So he's very impressed by Bono. So he could do worse, definitely.
Absolutely. He's got a very good role model there. Oisin, just one thing now. If your mum's business takes off like it could take off, it could be really, you could find her product in all sorts of languages, and certainly in all the English-speaking countries, and she could become a millionaire. What would you think if she became a millionaire and you were the inspiration? Do you think you'd want something off her then?
No, I wouldn't. I'd be just happy that she's my mum, really. My mum doesn't exactly spoil me, but she's very nice to me.
She is indeed. Well, Óisin and Linda, thank you both for talking to us, and you can find out more at readingbridges.com.
The Business.